Hey folks, it's Greg and Janet with Strange RV Tours, and we are in Tyler, Texas. Standing almost in the middle of the road. Now behind us right here is the Smith County Courthouse. And that kind of ties into our little story here today. We're here to pay our respects to one of the biggest legends in Tyler, Texas history. He resides right over here. This is the gravestone of Mr. Shorty the Squirrel. Born in 1948, died in 1963. You may think I'm joking about this, but he is a legend here in Tyler. He is was an unusual little squirrel that lived here right around this area of the Smith County Courthouse, and he was befriended by a lady by the name of Geneva Pillows, who would come here every day to feed him. Well, Shorty not only took food from her, he took food from anybody. He kind of became a beggar here, and he would greet people all the way across the street over here at the Smith County Courthouse. He would go over and hang out on the steps of the courthouse and greet people when they came into the courthouse and look for food. He became so beloved here in town that they actually created crosswalks for Shorty and put up little squirrel signs so that people would watch out for him whenever he was crossing the street. He lived to be 15 years old.
They even reduced the speed limit so that nobody would run over him. But he was pretty good. You know, living 15 years and crossing the street all the time, he made it. He knew how to get across the street. That's funny.
Smart little squirrel.
And they say that like there was a hair salon right here in the square area, and husbands would come and sit here in the little park on a bench and feed Shorty while they were waiting for their wives in the salon. So that was part of it.
And it is said here that he was so tenacious that he would not leave people alone until he got some type of a treat. And apparently he wasn't afraid of tourists or locals. They treated him quite well. When Shorty died of old age, he was so beloved here in the town that the town actually went out and got a replacement squirrel and brought over here to the park. But within a year, that replacement squirrel got run over.
Yeah.
They had several other replacement squirrels, but they kept getting run over, so I guess they finally gave up the idea and just figured this Shorty must be smarter than all of them.
True.
But it is also said that Shorty is second in popularity all time here in Tyler, Texas, to Earl Campbell, the Tyler Rose, the Hall of Fame football player. He is supposedly the only person that is more well-known and beloved in Tyler than Shorty the Squirrel.
I guess. So. I don't think the youngsters would know him, or they wouldn't know Earl Campbell either. But I know Earl Campbell made sausage.
Oh, I know. He went to the University of Texas, great football player, Houston Oilers.
Yep. And they said that people in the 90s, people kept stealing the gravestone. It used to have like a concrete surrounding and some figurine, but somebody stole all that several times. So this is what's left. But it's cute. They got a little squirrel on there and everything. It's so funny.
On a side note, I'd like to add something here. I hope you guys appreciate what I've done for you here today. We couldn't find the gravestone at first. I actually went up to a state trooper in uniform.
Oh, it's a detective.
Was it a detective? Okay.
Yeah.
I actually went up to a detective and asked him, I told him, I said, could you help me, sir? I'm trying to locate the gravesite of a Shorty the Squirrel.
You should have seen the guy's face.
He looked at me, and then he looked right over here to where all the bars are. And then he looked at me again, and I felt like saying, I promise I haven't been drinking.
He did say
but
that.
He told me, he said, no. He said, I've never heard of Shorty the Squirrel, and he kind of laughed. And so I had to tell him the story of Shorty the Squirrel and the reason we were here.
he just kind of like, never heard of it. I'm sorry, folks.
So
he's like, he was good looking. Oh man.
So then
how embarrassing.
When he didn't know, I decided I'm gonna walk inside the courthouse and find out. When I walked in, Janet was with me. When we walked in, there was 4 sheriffs sitting there with metal detecting equipment and everything.
The metal detectors that you go into a courthouse, they're all standing there with, you know, their guns and everything.
And when I asked them, the 3 younger detectives looked at me like I had totally lost it, but there was one older detective there, or sheriff, and he said these young guys don't know anything. He said, let me show you where Shorty's at. And he came outside, kind of pointed over to where Shorty's gravesite was, and he said, oh, he said, all us older folks know about Shorty. So anyhow, I totally embarrassed myself to do this video, but hey, Shorty's worth it.
Yeah, that's cute, isn't it? Well, you know our cat Tigger, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tigger. Yeah. We had him cremated. You know, he lived to be 18, right?
23-pound cat.
Yeah, and we have his remains so that he can be buried with Greg. I mean, when you get attached to a pet, or you know, like the squirrel. I mean, I heard that Miss Pillow came to the funeral in a black dress, and she came every day to feed him anyway, you know. So, and I heard the turnout for the funeral is you know, most of town folk. Isn't that something for a wild animal? But I mean, when you get attached and you love something that much and they're a part of your life, I mean, this is a way to memorialize it. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, I had a big turnout for his funeral. Everybody showed up.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, that is the story, folks, of the incredible Shorty the Squirrel. May he rest in peace. May we all have friends like Shorty did. You guys take it easy, folks. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Strange RV tours will take you places with Greg and Janet's smiling faces. You might see a crazy flavored soda review or some tips to fit your RV too. So come along, won't you join us, friend, as we discover what's around the bend. Just sit right back in your easy chair. Strange RV Tours is on the air. Strange RV Tours is on the air.